Vicky Marie, and with a cup of tea. Got the love mug today. Let's try and spread some love around. Anyway, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in this crazy world that we're living in. Now, in today's video, I'm going to talk a little bit about Jay Slater. Now, I haven't spoke about Jay for a long time because there's nothing to say really, unless you want to just go into the conspiracy theories and make things up and things like some, like it seems to be going on. There is really not, poor Jay, he had this accident. For anybody who doesn't know about Jay Slater, so this is Jay who was on holiday in Tenerife. To me, the only mystery is why did he go back to that Airbnb with Ayub and Rocky? Anyway, he did, and for some unknown reason, he decided to set off the next morning to try and get back to his apartment. So he decided not to get a taxi, and I do believe that's what happened. I think he's just off from a 3-day fiesta. He'd probably been taking all sorts, drinking, he would have been, what's the word? No, he hadn't eaten, he would have needed water, etc. And, unfortunately set off on a very dangerous route to try and get back to his apartments. And he was found deceased, wasn't he? Quite a little while later, because he'd slipped and fallen, it seems, into a ravine. Now, of course, there's still inquests going on. I don't think the Spanish inquest is completely finished. And now there's been an inquest opened in the UK. And Jay is from Accrington, which is in the Lancashire area. And it has been announced that the coroner who will be in charge of this inquest is the same coroner, Mr. Adeley. Let's have a look at him, who dealt, of course, with Nicola's inquest, and people weren't happy with it. Including me, we felt like the inquest wasn't dealt with properly, but it's not much we can do. Now it's been over a year since the inquest for Nicola. Sorry, I'm just looking for. I should have uploaded some pictures earlier of Dr. Adeley and Jay, of course. Jay's the most important person. So this is Dr. James Adeley. He's the coroner that will be in charge of this inquest in the UK when it finally happens. I believe they've got to wait for the Spanish inquest to finish completely. And although the inquest was opened, as far as I could see, I'm going to have another look while we're on live now. I couldn't find when the inquest is actually going to be heard yet. So, I expect apparently it's going to be later this year. But there's no actual official date set that I could find. But I'll have another look. And what's the result going to be? I don't know. But so apparently it's usual for if British people die abroad, on not natural circumstances, it's not unusual to have an inquest for them as well in Britain. And the other thing I'm going to talk about today, let me put a picture of Jay up, because for some reason I haven't got one. Where's all my photos gone? I've got too many photos, that's the trouble. All these different cases. And of course, we watched Jay's funeral. We've looked at lots of things to do with Jay. His mum talking and his brother, lots of things. But I'm just trying to stick with facts because, there's plenty of things being said that don't have any evidence. That's all. That is not a good thing, is it? I don't think it is anyway. And it's time, time to maybe let Jay rest in peace and let his family get on with, you know, the horrible experience. They've still got the inquest to face, but the horrible experience of living without Jay. Now, something else that we're going to look at is his dad, Warren, has set up a TikTok account, you know, to talk about what he got up to when he was in Tenerife, and in the hope that the people will stop with the conspiracy. Sorry, this is Jay, of course, Forever 17, Forever 19. He was on his first holiday away with his friends, apparently, and unfortunately came to a bit of an unfortunate end. And the thing is, it made us look at time. You know, when people go on holiday, they do, especially young people, they think they're immortal. They think they can do anything, especially when they've had a drink or taken some tablets or whatever Jay did or didn't do. You know, what young people do, they don't see the danger in things, in going off to an Airbnb with two guys that you don't hardly know, or trying to walk home over terrain that you don't know and that turned out to be full of ravines, etc. So, you know, that highlighted that, didn't it? The dangers of when you go away on holiday, and how many people do come to unfortunate ends on holiday for all sorts of reasons, often connected with drinking or taking drugs, or maybe just the sun, or not understanding sort of that where they are and who they're dealing with, getting involved with the wrong people because you don't know who the wrong people are because it's not a familiar place. So there's all sorts of danger, not wanting to frighten people who are going on holiday, because when you go on holiday, you've got to enjoy yourself, but you've also got to have a level head on, haven't you? So we're going to have a little talk about Mr. Adeley, the coroner. We're going to have a little look at when this inquest might be and what might come up in it. Will it make any difference? Is there more to know about this, about Jay's story? And we're going to have a look at his dad Warren's TikTok account, because he's now set up a TikTok account where he's actually talking directly. And that's much better, isn't it, than hearing it from other people, to actually hear from Warren himself what he thinks or what happened, etc. So those are the things we're going to be looking at. So first of all, I'd just like to say thank you, as usual, to everybody. Thanks to all my subscribers. Thanks to everybody who likes my videos or just watches my videos. Thanks to those of you joining the chat. But also, I know, hello to everyone who doesn't like to join in the chat, who just likes to watch from home. And also thanks and hello to those of you who are watching on replay crew. I appreciate everybody who contributes to my channel in any way. So special thanks to my members. So of course tonight, Tuesday night, is Members Live. So why not become a member and join in that live, or upgrade your Let's Chat membership to Keep On Chatting members, so that we can talk tonight. Now, I'm waiting for some Stefan Stearns material and Jen Soto, but as I said the other day, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it when it arrives. If that arrives by tonight, I will be looking at that. If not, I'll think of something else interesting to talk about. So so special thanks to my members, special thanks to everybody who's bought me a Ko-fi, sent me a super sticker, sent me a PayPal, or contributed in any way. Oh, and a special thanks those of you who sent in, because remember to send in photos of your pets to the email address, because in the first week of October we'll be doing a special fun live stream looking at everybody's pets, doing a quiz on animals, and a bit of fun for a change, because sometimes the world of true crime, it can get a little bit dark, a little bit heavy, can't it? So every now and again we like to have a bit of fun, and that's what we'll be doing in October. Thank you to everyone who sent in pets already. I've had some such lovely, not only photos, but videos. And it really makes my day every time I see those. So, okay, I'm going to say hello to everybody, and then we're going to get into this. Hi, David. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Heather. Hi, Laurie. Hi, Lynn. Thank you, Lynn. That's nice. Hi, DM Love. Yeah, exactly, Kelly. I agree. What people have they slagged them? People will always slag people off, won't they? It doesn't matter what he did. If he said something, they get slagged off. If you don't say anything, you get slagged off. That's this nasty world of social media. The bad side of it, isn't it? You know, Warren can do whatever he wants. You know, he is Jay's dad, and I'd rather hear something from his own mouth than listen to what those people that be slagging Warren off. There'll be people that can't make things up anymore because he's actually out there speaking for himself. Hi, Maria. Hi, Joanne. Yes, DM. We've all found Nicola Bullies. That I'll be, because I'm trying to, I've been doing this docu-series about Nicola Bully. I did a lot of videos about Nicola Bully at the time, and they're all on a playlist. But the Inquest, I'm doing a docu-series just sort of going over things from what we know now, and one of them will be about the Inquest. Hi, Cherish. Hi, Darren. So let's have a look about the Inquest first, because it is a routine thing that they're having this inquest. So I don't think we should think that the reason they're having the inquest for Jay is because there's anything strange about it. I think this is just what they're going to do. That they would be doing, whoever it was. If it's not natural causes, I just think that it's something that they've got to do. So I don't think we should read too much in the fact that there is going to be one. Now, I've got to find it. Now I had it. Where are we? Let's have a look at Dr. James Adeley. So this is him anyway. This is James Adeley, who's going to be, he's the head coroner for Lancashire. But the thing is, he's also a TV star because he's on the Cause of Death series, which is a series on the telly on Channel 4 or 5, where he talks about cases, unusual cases that he's had. I would imagine that he has to get permission from the families to do that. He normally can be persuaded to talk if you pay £200 or whatever for, the inquest is available. All those things are available. He did send me a summary of the inquest. I've got a summary of it, but if you want the full thing, you have to pay £200. Which just seems to me, if you think about your loved one, would you want everybody to be able to see all the inquest, all the forensic reports and everything? Should he really be allowed to do that? I don't know. I can't make my mind up about it. Of course, in America, you can, freedom of information, etc., unless it's a minor. It's pretty much par for the course in America, but in the UK, normally, you have to be a family member or something like that to get a copy of the inquest, but not in the Nicola Bully case. Now, is it going to be the same for Jay Slater? Is the inquest going to be open to everyone, or have you got to apply for a place like you had to with Jay Slater again? Now, he took over this job when he was 40. And so in 2004, the previous coroner, who'd been head coroner, who'd been 35 years in the high profile role, he was 65 and decided that it was time to retire. So, and this is the article that's talking about it, he will be replaced by Dr. James Adeley, 40, who's currently the assistant deputy coroner in Bradford. Dr. Adeley qualified medically in 1988 and practiced as an ear, nose and throat surgeon in London before studying for a law degree and specialising in competition law and medical negligence claims. Oh, do you have to go through all the adverts? Sorry, where's the bloody article gone? Where is the article gone with the photos? God, it's just come up with all these adverts. Sorry. There you go. So this was the photo when Dr. Adeley took over. Now he had a lot more hair there, you can see. Looks a lot younger. So, of course, this was in 2004, so it's 20 years ago. So probably Dr. Adeley will be retiring soon. If he was 40 then, it's 20 years ago, so he'll be 60 now. This guy retired at 65, and Dr. Adeley took over 20 years ago. And the old coroner, if you like, said a future of golf, relaxation and workouts in the gym is awaiting for Lancaster coroner Howard McCann. And after 35 years in the high profile, this is where he took off. This is where he took over for I don't know. Anyway, this is just an article that came up when I was looking at it. Don't know when he took over as Lancashire coroner, or is this when he took over as Lancashire coroner? Anyway, the guy before, his career was covered investigations into thousands of deaths, including the high-profile Morecambe Bay Cockling tragedy. Do you remember that? Where those, I think they were the Chinese or they were Asian anyway, people were picking cockles, and the Morecambe Bay, the tide came in and killed them all. And he will be replaced by Dr. James Adeley, 40, currently Assistant Deputy Coroner in Bradford. So that was when he took over. Let's have a look at another one. So this is him on the as a member of the Coroners Society. This is the Coroners Society of England and Wales. If you want to contact Dr. Adeley, I mean, lots of people contacted him after the Nicola Bulley case or the Nicola Bulley inquest. But Nicola Bulley, it was found to be accidental death. The family wanted that. The family pushed for it. And, you know, it's hard to take cases forward. You know, if the family is happy with the result, you know, it's difficult then, isn't it, really, to challenge the result, because that's what the family wanted. You know, so it's difficult to take it any further than that. It just feels like you're sort of, you know, I don't know, it just doesn't feel good. So anyway, so he's the senior coroner. That's his address, that's his phone number, or the phone number of his office. And he was appointed on the 5th of January 2005. So that's when he was appointed as the senior coroner for Lancashire. So I just want to have a look at this article in the Sun as well, where he talks about his job. Because of course he is a TV star too. You know, he's a TV star too. And you know, hi Zuzu. I'm trying to keep up with the chat, but hi Joanna. Don't know if I said hello to Joanna or not. So I might not be able to keep up with the chat because there's quite a lot of people in the there's a lot of people watching, so it might get a bit much that I can't keep up with it. So don't think I'm being ignorant. I know I do like to join in the chat and chat to people and comment, but I don't think I'll be able to at the moment. So in Death is Often a Taboo. Oh, let's go up to the top. Oh, they're calling him Dr. Death. I'm a coroner and I'm still surprised by the unusual reasons some people die. And one bizarre case really stumped me. Now, one thing that I did find whenever I go on the Coroner's Court website for Preston, it's just every day, you know, there's various cases, at least one, if not loads. So it does sort of, it is sobering because, so many people dying, isn't there? And of course we only know about the people close to us, and then maybe cases that are on the news or etc. But we don't get, it's just constant, and it's all. And someone's got to be a coroner. Somebody's got to deal with these deaths, investigate suspicious deaths, rule a cause of death. But it is quite depressing, I think. Anyway, death is often a taboo subject. But for Dr. James Adeley, they're an everyday occurrence. He deals with 4,000 fatalities a year. 4,000 a year. And of course, that's just Lancashire and Blackburn with Darwin. So as a senior coroner for Lancashire and Blackburn with Darwin, his job is to investigate the mysterious reasons some people pass away. He has worked on a number of unusual cases, including a 52-year-old woman who died after accidentally strangling herself when her pajama top got caught in the oven. Now, I've read about that before. Maybe I think I might have mentioned that on a video that I did ages ago when it was around the Nicola Bulley case. Yeah, apparently she was her pajama top got caught in the oven, and she was probably, I don't know, I imagine she was, trying to get it off, and somehow she strangled herself, according to Mr. Adeley, of course. So whether you believe it or not, I don't know. I don't know what the family had to make of it. But speaking last year at the inquest into the death of barmaid Jackie Michelle Cottrell, 52, he told how he had never come across such an unusual case in his 20 years as coroner. So they investigate certain deaths which are deemed to be unnatural, violent, or where the cause is unknown. And this includes ordering a post-mortem, getting witness statements and medical records, or holding an inquest. And he said, after the American TV series Quincy, everyone in this country thinks the coroner is actually a pathologist who undertakes the examinations of the deceased. We're not, we're a type of judge. So yeah, he doesn't actually do the post-mortem or any, really, he just looks at all the evidence. He doesn't do any of the dirty work, if you like. What he does is he is presented with all the different evidence, like post-mortem, etc., and he calls witnesses, of course, to give testimony and stuff if he thinks it's necessary. And of course, Nicola Bulley's inquest went on over 2 days, didn't it? And a lot of witnesses were called, including police, the last people that saw her family. There were lots of different witnesses. And again, I've got a playlist for the inquest and for the details of the inquest. We covered it live, didn't we? We were, that's a whole video, probably a week-long video in itself. So he doesn't do anything, like he doesn't do any examinations. He just looks at the information that's presented to him, the testimonies and he makes a decision on the balance of probabilities, what happened to that person. And with Nicola, he made a decision that she died an accidental death. So they did a poll. Do you think you could do this job? No, too much death for me. Yes, for the right price, and I'm not sure, maybe. So the winner was no, too much death for me. I don't think I'd like to do it, really. We have our own investigative officers who will investigate all the deaths. So he's saying he doesn't actually go into to the actual nitty-gritty, if you like. He follows the recommendations. So here's some of his unusual cases. Killed by happiness. One of the unusual deaths came about after a woman mixed antidepressants and amphetamines. Serotonin syndrome occurs when the body has too much of a chemical, serotonin, often dubbed the happy hormone. Gosh, so you can die if you're too happy. This is usually due to a combination of medications, in this case a mix of antidepressants and amphetamines. Dr. Adeley said, I've been doing this job for 18 years now. I've never come across serotonin syndrome before. This is a first. It's a very unusual reaction between a prescribed drug and a social drug. The body heats up until the brain gets so hot that it doesn't function and you collapse and die. Oh my God. Because what he's saying is because the woman mixed antidepressants. Sorry, I've got to turn on my other computer so I can keep a bit of an eye on the chat. Yeah, imagine that. So if you're taking prescribed drugs, don't take amphetamines. Then the body in the bath. A man was mysteriously found dead in a bath with the tap still on. So another mystery case involves a death. Sorry, hang on. I've just got to do this. While you're waiting, don't forget to like. Please. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe because it's completely free. I'll be with you in 2 ticks. Just trying to set up my other computer because then I've got 2 screens I can look at then, which helps. Okay, so another mystery case involves the death of a man found in a bath full of water with the tap still running. The 999 call was made last December by a concerned neighbour of Andrew Milner's, 48, who lived alone in Skelmersdale, Lancashire. And speaking in the documentary, DS Sean Cloherty from Lancashire Police said, I looked at the incident report as it came in and I just felt that it might be suspicious given the circumstances. He was lying partially submerged in the bath with his head under the water and his right leg over the side of the bath. There was an electric shower in the premises and the shower head had been pulled off and was in the bath with him. So some of the deaths in this series were completely unclear. So remember, the reason I'm going through this is because this is the guy who will be doing it's been announced. I'm going to show you the article where it's been said that he is the guy who's going to be doing this, who's going to be actually doing this inquest or, making a decision on Jay Slater's inquest. Some of the deaths in this series were completely unclear as to what had happened at the beginning. It only became clearer as the information came in. So it is a detective story. DS Cloherty added that the cause of death could be drowning or an electric shock, as the electrics in the house, so this is the guy that they found in the bath with the water running, the electrics in the house were in a pretty poor condition. It also emerged that the victim had been involved in a hit-and-run accident with a lorry 5 months earlier, and if these injuries caused his death, resulted in his death, it could lead to a prosecution. Deciding if it was necessary, Dr. Adeley ordered a Home Office post-mortem examination. Now, that's what he did with Nicola Bulley. I wonder if he'll do that with Jay Slater, because when he orders a special Home Office post-mortem examination, that's because he wants to be, perfectly clear about what happened. Unfortunately, with Nicola Bulley, he choked that woman, God, what's her name? The forensic pathologist. She's not got the most brilliant reputation. And some of the Alison Armour, some of the things, the conclusions she came to people have disagreed with, and not only in the Nicola Bulley case, but in other cases that she's dealt with as well. So that was another reason that people weren't happy with the Nicola Bulley inquest, wasn't it? The petichai, or I can never pronounce it, particularly the petichai in her eyes, which are rare in drownings and are more common with strangulation. And that was actually mentioned. Now, I've seen quite a few true crime cases since then where that has actually been brought up as a reason for MURDER being suspected when the petichai is found in the eyes. It's like little small burst blood vessels that is consistent. It is consistent with asphyxiation, which of course asphyxiation can be a drowning because it just means lack of oxygen, I presume. But, you know, so that's another. Anyway, Alison Amor was not, you know, she's not the most respected forensic pathologist because she made some other mistakes on other famous cases, or thought to have. So anyway, he ordered a Home Office post-mortem examination on this case that he's talking about here, which revealed that the guy had a rare unknown heart condition which caused him to collapse, fall into the bath and drown in what Dr. Adeley described during the inquest as a very unusual and very tragic set of circumstances. Earlier this year, this is 2 years ago, this article, he called for stricter controls of the sale of illegal food preparation chemical after a woman committed suicide. Victoria Lacey, 21, died in June 2020 after taking a fatal dose of the substance, which is legally available for its intended purpose, but fatal when consumed directly due to its effect on the blood. And Dr. Adeley sent a report to the Home Office outlining the method of suicide is rapidly increasing. Because he has to deal with a lot of S's, you know, self-deletions. It is, I think it is, we're going to have a look at the website in a minute. Warning that more deaths may occur if action is not taken. Dr. Adeley worked as an ear, nose and throat surgeon before leaving medicine in 1993 to re-qualify as a lawyer before becoming a coroner. And it says he presided over the inquest in the deaths of 2 of the victims of the Morecambe Bay Cockling disaster when 23 Chinese cockle pickers drowned while working off the Lancashire coast in February. He says it's the best job in the world, helping people at a terrible time in their lives get through a process as easily as possible while providing them with an explanation as to how their loved one came by their death. Well, I know for a fact he's not very popular with one person whose son died. You know, I keep meaning to make a video about that. Poor lady whose son died, said she was treated terribly by Adeley. Terribly. She's got a lot to say about what a horrible person he is. So anyway, but he says it's a very fulfilling job and it's a privilege to be a coroner. And the job requires a morbid sense of curiosity. Trying to find out why somebody died can be a detective story. Well, he didn't do much detecting with Nicola Bulley, did he? I mean, the video that he got the police to make, you know, of was just a farce, wasn't it? He sent he sent PC Thackeray back to the river to see if he could float over the weir, and it just, to me, that video just showed how anyone could stand up in that water, and how Nicola managed to sort of float over the weir without anybody seeing her. Only must have floated at night. You know, lots of people walking down that river day in, day out with their dogs. Nobody saw anything until, you know, the 19th of February, apparently. So I did not agree that what he sent PC Thackeray out to do resulted in confirmation. If anything, it resulted in how unlikely it was that Nicola had floated over there, regardless of why she hadn't been found when everybody had been out looking for her. Anyway, he says a lot of your job is really to find out the truth, and some things can be quite a mystery. You start at the beginning with almost no information, and you have a puzzle to solve. We have the advantages of CT scanning, pathologists, toxicology, the police, the coroner's officers who will gather witness statements, and you piece together this jigsaw. Some of the deaths in this series were completely unclear as to what happened at the beginning. It only became clearer as the information came in, so it is a detective story. All the deaths featured in the series, I mean, I don't know if it seems appropriate to be doing a TV series. As I presume the families have given permission. The families must have given permission for these cases to be presented. But anyway, despite a coroner's best efforts, in some cases, the mystery of someone's death can never be solved. He said there are some deaths, it doesn't matter how much effort you put into it, you just will not always understand how that person met their end. And that is what he said about Nicola Bulley as well, didn't he? He said, we will probably never understand how Nicola ended up in the river. But instead of making it an open verdict then, which has happened with other similar cases, it was, balance of probabilities, it's accidental death. So a lot of people weren't happy with that. But having said that, Nicola's family were happy. So what can you say, really, to be honest? It's difficult. So let me just put a couple of windows down, and I want to show you the article where it says that he's going to be doing. Oh gosh, so many windows open. Okay. Right, hang on. Where's my article gone? For goodness sake, where's it gone? Never mind, I'll have to open it up again. Sorry about that. Right, that's it. You're going in the right. So, according to Lancashire Live, on the 13th of September, last Friday, they printed this article or released this article online. The coroner for Jay Slater will be the same official who ruled on the Nicola Bulley inquest. So it's interesting, isn't it? A final inquest is expected to take place later this year. So, of course, according to the Spanish authorities, though I don't think they've released their final findings. Of course, according to them, they said his injuries were consistent with a fall and head injuries from falling into a ravine, didn't they? That's what they said. So the Lancashire coroner who oversaw the inquest into Nicola Bulley's death will be in charge of the final hearing, looking into the case of Jay Slater. Lancashire's senior coroner, Dr. James Adeley, implemented an application system for members of the public who wanted to attend the inquest into Nicola's death last year. So remember, they were expecting, busloads of people to turn up for this inquest. So they gave this application system. And I'll tell you now, I applied and I got a place at the inquest, but I didn't go in the end. But it wasn't difficult to get a place at the inquest. And I think a lot of people didn't turn up at the inquest. It was very quiet. They were expecting, I don't know what they were expecting, loads and loads of people to turn up. And he said right at the beginning of the inquest, he didn't want any trouble. Anyone causing problems would be thrown out for contempt of court. But the only people who did cause any problems were Nicola's own friends, like, who were having a go at other people for being there, getting into arguments with people that if there was someone there that they didn't know, they said, what are you doing here? And, causing trouble. So I think anybody who turned up for that inquest, why do they think that people don't have Nicola at heart? People got invested in wanting to know what happened to Nicola. It wasn't that they were most people, you always get some people who'll be turning up there trying to make a TikTok video of it or a YouTube video of it or whatever. But I think most people, they genuinely cared about what had happened to Nicola. That's why they wanted to go. Anyway, he set up I wonder if he'll do this for the Jay Slater case. Does he think that the same, there'll be the same interest in people wanting to actually go to the inquest? I don't know. Anyway, security was tight at the 2-day hearing at County Hall in Preston last June after Nicola's disappearance attracted global interest and conspiracy theories. So they moved where they normally do the inquest. They moved it to a bigger place to accommodate all these people. The sound was terrible. I still think that the sound was terrible deliberately so people couldn't catch what was being said all the time. I honestly do think that might be true because a lot of people complained about the sound. Right. Tia. No tear. So, right, I'm going to have to put her in the bathroom because she won't. It's the Chihuahua's fault. It's always the Chihuahua's fault. It is the Chihuahua's fault. Bloody thing never stops barking. Oh my God, it could put you off Chihuahuas. And then I know there's a lot of Chihuahua lovers out there, but God, this particular one just never stops. Anyway, well, because you hear it. But of course, it's the owners' fault. They never try and make it be quiet. Let's see, where was I? So, yeah, crowds of press photographers and TV crews camped out by the entrances to the building, and members of the public were subjected to security checks, with Dr. Adeley warning attendees not to disrupt proceedings following unusual online commentary about Nicola's death. So, an inquest into the death of 19-year-old Jay from Oswald Twistle, whose body was found. Do you know that Oswald Twistle, I was looking at Oswald Twistle this morning, it is supposed to be the happiest place in Lancashire to live, according to some article I was looking at this morning. So there you go. If you're in Lancashire, you need to move to Oswald Twistle. So, yes, this inquest has been opened and the final hearing is expected to take place possibly later this year, once Spanish authorities have forwarded the evidence relating to their investigation to Lancashire's senior coroner, James Adeley. Now, I can't see that we'll have a look at the website in a minute, but I can't see that it's actually been planned in yet. You can see it on there as having been opened, but there's not actually any date on the website yet for the hearing of the inquest. So Dr. Adeley has now confirmed to Lancs Live he will be holding the inquest into Jay's death. And given the likely interest, the hearing is also expected to be held at County Hall in Preston. So while the authorities in Tenerife can hold their own coronial proceedings, the coroner in Lancashire, based in Preston, will always conduct an inquest once a body is repatriated back to the UK under their jurisdiction. Under coronial law, if a body is returned to the UK, the coroner's jurisdiction arises when the coroner is made aware of the presence of a body in their jurisdiction with reasonable grounds to suspect they died an unnatural death, such as accident. Well, Jay definitely, he died an unnatural death. We think he didn't just die. He fell, banged his head and died. That's what the Spanish police are saying. Now, is he just going to confirm it, or will he find something else? So yeah, apprentice bricklayer Jay disappeared after partying with his friends on the island, sparking a 4-week search. Jay from Oswaldtwistle messaged friends on the morning of June the 17th, 2024, saying he was 28 miles away from their accommodation with only 1% phone battery. He left an Airbnb property in Masca to the north of the island, but he missed the bus. I don't know that he missed the bus. He didn't wait for the bus. And he attempted to walk back to his accommodation. On July the 19th, his body was found in a ravine in the rural de Tiempo National Park. And after confirming his identity, investigations concluded he died from a head injury. So the Jay Slater case was a case very similar to the Nicola Bulley case, in that it was a mystery, and it provoked a lot of different, and it did provoke conspiracy theory. To me, a conspiracy theory is when there's no evidence for something, when people start saying things but there's no evidence. Also, people went online and actually fabricated evidence, didn't they? Fabricated messages. Mark Williams Thomas coming out with all the rubbish that he came out with. And it all, it's like almost deliberate, just to create interest. Anyway, let's have a look now at, and that's why I left it alone, because I don't, unless there's any actual evidence for there being something more to it, we'll probably never know the real reason why Jay went back to that Airbnb, or maybe it was just to carry on the party. But will we ever know? Because Jay can't tell us. Ayub was just saying, oh, well, he didn't know. None of them knew what was going on. They were all out of it. So I don't know if there is a logical reason. Anyway, Coroner Lancashire. So let's have a look. So let's have a look. So this is the Lancashire County Council Coroner's Office. Now, I'm not sure where Jay is at the moment. He's supposed to have been repatriated. And of course, they've had the funeral service. But Debbie did say that they would have to repatriate. I wonder if the police have still got some things, to complete their investigations, because his mum did say there was to be more repatriation. Don't know if they've got all his belongings yet, or I don't know. But anyway, the role of a coroner, according to the coroner service, is to, what is the role of a coroner? Hang on. So their role is to establish who the person is, so the identification, where it happened, where the death happened, and when a person died and how, meaning by what means a person has died. So it's not a criminal thing. If there's any criminality suspected, the coroner then has to refer it to the police. If a coroner starts doing an investigation, and they find a bullet in the body or whatever, and that maybe wasn't noticed before, or some kind of suspicious circumstances, it's the coroner's duty then to refer it to the police. The coroner doesn't investigate in that sense. So deaths that need to be reported to the coroner, where there is no doctor who can issue a medical certificate or a cause of death, or do so within a reasonable period of time, where the cause of death is unknown, where the cause of death is believed to be unnatural or suspicious, whether death occurred during an operation or before recovery from an anaesthetic, or whether death is due to industrial disease or industrial poisoning. Now, of course, there are two different kinds. So you've got non-invasive post-mortem examinations. So first thing they do is scan the unfortunate person, etc. And it may be that that's enough. But then if that's not enough to establish the cause of death, then they may have to go for an invasive post-mortem. But they try not to do that, I think. These days, because these days technology is so good, they don't have to, do they? So I suppose that's good, isn't it? Right, okay. Coroners, inquest openings. So if we go to the inquest openings, let's see if I can. Oh, where's the list? Can't see the list here. Doesn't seem. Oh, Jay Slater inquest opening. Probably won't be able to find it now. List of inquest openings. Oh, it's not coming up with the list. Where's the list? Right, it's not coming up with the list, so that's handy. What about inquest hearings? Anyway, it's definitely been opened. It was opened and closed on the same day as it was for Nicola Bulley. He opened the inquest and then closed it and then set a date for June, didn't he? But you know, it was a long time, wasn't it? Because he opened the inquest on Nicola Bulley just after Nicola's body was found, so probably around 20th, 21st of February, and then the inquest was not actually held until June. So when you open an inquest, it doesn't mean to say that the inquest is going to follow immediately. Let's have a look at the inquest openings. Why am I not getting? Why is it not let me? Right, I've got to do this again. So, inquest hearings. Oh, so here they are. So, like today is, if you're watching this live, it's the 17th of September. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are 5 inquests today. Benjamin Coletta, 31. John Foreman, 74. Joseph Griven, 48. Philip Holt, 53. And Michael Pugh, 49. So, you know, they're not all old people, are they? There's only one of them. I mean, he's 74. That's not even old these days. So, you know, these inquests are all going to be held today at Lancashire Court. What's going to be the results? Is it going to be self-deletion? Will it be drugs? You know, that's not, they're probably the most common. So, here we've got a 21-year-old, an inquest hearing on the 19th. 27. Very sad, isn't it, to see these young people. You know, then we've got Frederick Eccles. He's led a long life. He's 96. But here we've got another 21-year-old, Jacob. 22, Mohammed. Oh, they do seem young, don't they? My God. You know, there's a lot of them that aren't what you'd call elderly. Gosh. Anyway, I looked right through. It goes right through to next year. I cannot see Jay on there yet. So I presume when the Spanish police have finished what they're doing, I presume then that this Jay's inquest will get put in the diary. You know, these go right up to next year, go right through to December and through to January. And I could not find Jay Slater on there, at least when I looked this morning. You know, that could change at any time. Could change at any time. But yeah, it's a shame, isn't it? I mean, it's a shame even for the elderly people, but at least if they've lived to 96, they've had a full life. But some of these that are just like in their 20s, 30s, there's another one, 29, you know, they've got a 3-day hearing. So I wonder what happened there. So this is going right to next January. So yeah, it's quite depressing, isn't it? You know, to see all these people that died, and most of them, or a lot of them, they're not really an age where you would expect them to. Sad. Anyway, sooner or later, Jay will be on there. He'll be keyed in, and then we'll have a date. And I will keep looking, and if I hear anything, I'll let you know when the inquest is going to be. Now, their inquest results. Let me just go to the results. So then what they do is they go to... Then what will happen is once the hearing's been held, you get the inquest conclusion. And, you know, look, we've got Alan Gaskell, industrial disease. God, you wouldn't expect that nowadays, would you? Good God, are we living back in the bloody pre-industrial revolution or whatever? Fancy being killed by industrial disease. Drugs-related misadventure, natural causes, also self-deletion, accidental. So lots of different causes. Now that's there's one here, narrative conclusion. Now when an inquest gets a narrative conclusion, it's a bit like these, you know, when it's not, they haven't got enough information, or they've got too much information, and they can't just put it as drugs-related death, misadventure, etc. When they have to give an explanation. And you know, he didn't even give, Nicola Bulley's case didn't even get a narrative conclusion. It was just Nicola Bulley died an accidental death. No, you know, nothing about the circumstances or the fact that it was only on the balance of probabilities. There was no evidence that she died an accidental death, just as there was no evidence of self-deletion and no evidence of foul play. So, you know, always in my eyes, it should have been an open verdict. I'll never change from thinking that, I'm afraid. So, yeah, a lot of them. Let's have a look down there. Accidental death. These are narrative conclusions, really, because they are explaining what happened. So after the road traffic collision, dear me. Anyway, it's quite depressing, isn't it? You know, but at the end of the day, I don't know why I'm thinking it's depressing. You know, death is a part of life, isn't it? That's one thing, you know, what do they say? Don't take life too seriously. You can't get out of it alive. You know, you can't. So it's just, you've got to accept it is part of life, I suppose. Now, so that's what will happen. They'll set a date for the actual inquest for Jay, and then afterwards, the inquest conclusion will be here on the website. So, stop. Okay, so that Chihuahua's still at it. I mean, for God's sake, if it was your dog, you wouldn't want it barking like that all the time. How do they just let it bark constantly? Nightmare. Anyway, so where are we going now? So yeah, as soon as the inquest conclusion is put up there, the inquest hearing is put up there, and then afterwards the conclusion, we will be talking about that, of course. Now we're going to go to, right, I'm going to just come back to the chat, just make sure everyone's behaving themselves. I'm sure you are. Probably not. I've missed lots of people coming in, so I'm sorry if I haven't said hello to people. But I hope you're all okay. Hi to everybody who's come in that I've missed, but just sometimes then when I go off to tell the story, I can't keep up with saying hello to everybody. So we're going to go to TikTok now. And as I say, Warren, Jay's dad, has set up a TikTok account because he wants to talk about what really happened instead of everybody else saying what happened and making things up and coming out with things like he was, kidnapped on a boat or all these kind of things. Now, Paul Warren, because of course I think Debbie and Warren, Jay's mum and dad, they must be separated, I presume, because you don't really see them talking together. And looking at these, it was interesting to see Warren saying something, but he does look, how can I say, it must just be awful. I think must just be awful. Anyway, let's have a look at a couple of his videos. Let's start with this one.
Here I am, back at the starting point. View was last seen to be spotted. This is the view.
So this is the Airbnb. He's actually at the Airbnb. This was when he was there when Jay was missing. He's not there at the moment. This must be a video he took at the time, I think, unless he's gone back there.
As you can see, the village, houses are view. Come out. Stop is there.
Where's his brother?
Turned left. He has knocked on this door to the restaurant. Asked time the buzz is, and they say that he has walked up the hill.
Ah. So he said he knocked on that door and asked what time the bus was.
That was the 10 o'clock buzz.
So that's the 10 o'clock bus that's just gone by. I still think, it makes sense to me that young lads, once he was told that the bus was coming at 10, he was thinking, I'm not waiting till 10 o'clock. And that's what I personally think. But, everyone has their view.
So, seriously? I think there's a lot of bullshit going on. Truthfully. Can anybody see a shortcut back to Los Cristianos? Here I am, back at the starting point.
Okay, so that's one video. Now he's made, this one was in, this is later. He looks, looks like he's been through a lot, doesn't it?
Just a short video to confirm that this is my account. The keys that I found do belong to Down the Rapids guy. I found them at the end of the path. I haven't been back to Tenerife ever since I came back.
So he hasn't been back to oh God, I don't know what they're doing outside now. It sounds like the what the hell are they doing? Right, hang on 1 minute. I've got to close the windows. Don't know what's going on now. Do you know what? There's always something going on. Oh dear me, there's always something. Let me just. One minute. My God. So I think there's some building work going on at the house over the road. I don't know what they're doing, but it sounds like anyway, they're making a big row, whatever. Right, let's go back to Warren. Bless him. Trying to listen to this.
From looking for my son. The videos that I've been posting are just documentation of what I was up to, where I was searching, things I was looking at while I was out there.
So he's not gone back to Tenerife. These are videos that he took when he was in Tenerife. And he said that those keys that he found, they were from the Down the Rapids guy. So that's that idiot, Paul Arnott, who's lost his keys, lost his phone. Then he said he'd found his keys. Now he's saying he never found his keys, and actually these his keys. He wouldn't know the truth if it slapped him across the face, that guy. He's an awful guy, because he used Jay. He then tried to go and use Michael Frison, which I'm not sure what's happening there. Went and tried to use that. He tried to use Jack O'Sullivan, because now he's struggling to keep his channel going, because he's not getting the views he was getting, because he's been and had his turkey teeth done. Nobody's interested. They look terrible. He wouldn't be a good. I tell you what, looking at his teeth that he's had done, it wouldn't make me go and have my teeth done. That's for sure, because they look painful and they just look ridiculous. So Paul Arnott, the liar, he said that he'd lost his keys. Then he said he'd found them. But now I know who I'd believe before I would believe Paul Arnott. He's saying that those keys did belong to Down the Rapids. So he just hasn't got a clue what he's doing. He's probably spaced out most of the time. God knows what he's taking in between. Then he disappeared, didn't he? He says he doesn't drink, but who knows what else he does. He disappeared for a couple of days. They had to ring the police to look for him because everyone thought something had happened to him. He just caused chaos. The police hated him. He hated the police because they didn't take any notice of him. He's just an idiot, he is. So there you go from Warren. I'll see if I can put it back to the beginning in case you missed it at the beginning. I'm just completely Paul Arnotted out.
That's it. Just a short video to confirm that this is my account. The keys that I found do belong to Down the Rapids guy. I found them at the end of the path. I haven't been back to Tenerife ever since I came back from looking for my son. The videos that I've been posting are just documentation of what I was up to, where I was searching, things I was looking at while I was out there, and that's it. Just a short video to confirm that this is my account. The keys that I found do belong to Down the Rapids guy. I found them at the end of the path. I haven't been back to Tenerife ever since I came back from looking for my son. The videos that I've been posting are just documentation of what I was up to, where I was searching, things I was looking at while I was out there, and that's it. Just a short video to confirm
Oh,
that
yeah.
this is my.
So he's got, well, I think we would believe him. What's this? Is this the keys here? I don't want to watch anybody else's TikTok. I only want to watch Warren's TikTok.
Warren Slater posted these keys he found.
No. I can't be doing with these TikTokers just taking his things. Right, let me see. Where is Warren Slater's TikTok? Got to find. I need to find it. Oh, there it. And follow it. Segir. Oh no, it's not letting me. Oh, there you go. Let's have a look at this one. So these are videos that Warren, they're the only videos I want to look at, the actual ones for Warren. I don't want to look at other TikTokers making stuff out of them or whatever. I just thought it just must have been so awful for them to have to go there, knowing that their son was, somewhere there, and just not know where to start. And don't forget, it was boiling hot. It was boiling hot. They don't have the language. It must have been just horrible. And then, of course, the end result finding that in fact, he died. I just don't understand how people could get onto them and be so horrible to them. Right, here's a statement that is put on there. Firstly, I want to thank everyone who was involved in the search, posted about Jay, and helped spread the word when he was missing, and also to those who donated. It has warmed our hearts as a family to know how many people cared about Jay and how many people will now join us in remembering our son. We will never forget the kindness, love shown by family, friends, and strangers. It's made this devastating time more bearable. Oh, that's nice. However, now that Jay has sadly been found and laid to rest, I want to ask that people stop talking about Jay online, stop posting content, and adding to the conspiracies around his death. And I feel bad now because I'm posting content, but I'm posting his message. I haven't posted about Jay Slater for ages, and I just wanted to tell you about the inquest, and then I saw about this. But the next time I'll be posting about Jay will be when we know something about the inquest, and I never will be posting any conspiracy theories about his death. As you know, I don't like that. People have got annoyed with me, because I've not wanted to go into all that crap. There's lots of YouTube channels who do go into all that crap, but I won't be doing that. So to the people online, Jay was a news story, but to us, he is our son, our baby, and we're asking for respect and time to grieve without having to see all this online. Oh, bless. Please respect our wishes and allow Jay to rest in peace. Thank you, Warren. So that is what his father has asked. So I hope that some people out there that are, posting about Jay every 5 minutes, even though there's not anything to say, will listen to that and stop posting about him. unless there's something to post. You know, at the end of the day, when the inquest is heard and the results out, that people will want to know that. But you know what I mean, not posting, oh God, you know, if I could go on TikTok now and find a million videos about Jay. Oh, did Jay steal the Rolex? Or did Jay get kidnapped? Was he on a boat? You know, all that rubbish. And, you know, I'm not doing that, and I'm glad I haven't done it. But anyway, Warren there is actually asking people not to do it. So if he's actually asking people not to do it, and he's gone onto TikTok to ask people not to do it so that he can reach people, you know, people should respect what he wants, of course. So anyway, that's it. That's all I've really got to say. I'm just going to have a little look at the news. You know, I always like to look at the news just to see if sorry, I'm looking at messages and things. I'll have a look at Sky News. But I will be back tonight with the members live, so I hope you join us in the members live. Either become a member or upgrade. And as I say, if I do get these replies from the police department, if I get some information from the police department that I'm looking for, I will be doing that. But if not, there'll be something there'll be something else, won't there, to talk about. So yeah, I'm off. I'm going. What have I got going on today? Not got many classes, but I've got some. But I'll be back tonight with the members live. I'm looking forward to it. Tuesday night is the best night of the week, and I will see you all then. And all those of you that are members anyway, and for others, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like. Please don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you really soon in the next video. And until then. I can't go for a swimmy, Heather, because the pool's closed. But I have looked at the pool up the road, you know, the indoor pool, and I don't think I'm going to go today, but I will be going. I am going to try it. Okay, thank you so much, and don't forget to send your photos of your pets. I'll see you really soon in the next video, and as always, may your gods go with you. Bye bye. Or may your dogs go with you even. Sometimes, you know, animals, God, what would we do without animals? As annoying as they can be when they bark, but they're still sort of special, aren't they? Okay, bye.